Well, good Monday morning. This is student forecaster Stephen Boyle. We are keeping an eye on a major winter storm here that's affecting the region today. Winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories are out. Today we're going to do a very in-depth analysis on this storm. Now, you're saying, well, Stephen, isn't pretty much everything etched in stone right now? Unfortunately, even with the advanced technology that we have today, there can still be sometimes mistakes. And there's, I believe, personally, and I could be totally wrong, I could be totally off, but I think there is a serious mistake here as far as what's going on with this particular storm. Areas that are being shown to be impacted right now are going to be impacted. It's just the areas that aren't being shown. There will definitely be some impacts. So let's sort of talk a little bit about that. But before we do, there are some winter storm warnings, as you can obviously see. There's some winter storm warnings through central Ohio, winter storm warnings into portions of West Virginia and also the mountains of Virginia, South Central PA. The mountains of North Carolina are also under winter storm warning. And then we have a winter storm warning into New Jersey. Now, southern New Jersey. Here's the thing. Okay, there is basically nothing in through northwest Jersey and into northeast PA. There's a winter weather advisory for about 3 to 5 inches, or I would probably say more along the lines of 2 to 4 inches in New York City. 4 to 6, a winter storm warning down into southern portions of New Jersey. Absolutely nothing in southern New England. Okay, now, if short-range models were showing what the long-range models were showing, no problem whatsoever. I would be totally agreeing with this picture. Okay, and actually, my forecast, if you look at my page, if you follow me on Northeast Weather Center, if you follow me on there, you'll see that was basically my forecast, basically the picture that we have here. However, it's not as clear-cut as that. Okay, unfortunately, Mother Nature sometimes throws us curveballs, and the curveball is already being shown right now at this very moment. All right. I think people probably at the National Weather Service office in New York City, in Mount Holly, and most likely even in Taunton are probably looking at some things here, and they're probably saying, uh-oh, we're not in a good situation. Because I know I'm looking at things, and it doesn't look like we're in a very good situation. This is a current radar imagery. There is already bands, okay, and this is the thing, okay. Let's look at the current radar imagery. There are bands covering all of Pennsylvania. These bands are extending almost to northern Jersey. They're starting to enter into New York. There is already almost being a transfer of energy. The reason why we have this big blob in here is because that is where the transfer of energy is happening from the low that's out into central portions of Ohio. This is going to move east and eventually like this. Okay, that is basically where that band is moving. This is going to also strengthen. It is going to become a monster band. When I say a monster band, I literally mean a monster band. It's going to become just a nasty band. Now, I want to go into the Great Lakes because this is interesting. West Virginia, I don't even think got nearly half of what they were expected to see. Why is that? Well, this low pressure system is here. Okay, it was originally anticipated that it was going to move something. It was originally anticipated that it was going to come here and move eastward. Okay, and therefore it would have given these folks in here a good dosing of snow. However, that's not happening. What's happening here is we have this low in here, and this low is actually continuing to move northward. Okay, now as it does so, there is another low that's off the coast of North Carolina, and that is sort of attached to this low here in central Ohio. And it's basically moving this whole entire system northeastward because this low, which is the driving force of the whole entire system, is moving northeastward. So as that moves northeastward, the bands and the clouds are moving northeastward with it. Now, eventually this will move eastward, but it will not move eastward as south as people were anticipating because of the fact that this is moving northeast. And you'll notice on radar imagery, okay, if we go back here, okay, you'll notice how you'll see the movement of this storm. It's moving like this, okay, and you'll see the movement of these bands right in here. See how the movement of these bands is north and east, okay? Now, and I want to point out again, it was originally anticipated that these folks in here were not going to be dry slotted. These folks in here are being massively dry slotted, all right? There was supposed to be major heavy snows in here. They're getting probably maybe half of they aren't even seeing half of what they were expected to see. They were expected, some of these folks into the mountains of West Virginia, they were supposed to see close to 30 inches of snow. They may not even see 15. They could probably only see maybe at best 10 inches. Okay? Maybe with this band in here. But this is not looking impressive to me. This is absolutely not looking impressive to me. Alright? And again, all the banding is to the north. Okay? That is because this storm is moving north. Okay? Now, and actually these folks may actually end up doing a little bit better than originally anticipated because of that fact. Now, so basically here's what's going on in the Northeast. Okay, so I think we've already established the fact that all of this is moving in a northeasterly direction. Now, you're seeing this and you're saying, well, Stephen, this is moving in sort of an easterly direction. That's because that's where the energy transfer is happening. But for the most part, everything is moving in a northeasterly direction. Now, here is the surface analysis. Okay, here is that low. And now, like I said, these two systems are attached together. Okay. Now, it was originally this system in here was originally supposed to sort of fizzle out, and this was supposed to become the driving force. Now, it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be maybe. It was maybe supposed to come as far north as here and then go out to sea. But this thing is still moving in a northeasterly direction. Okay. With that being said, this is also being allowed to move in a more northeasterly direction. Now, what I also want you to look at, okay, so that's the surface analysis. I want you to look at the water vapor imagery. Okay, this is the water vapor imagery. Notice where the dry air is. This is where the dry air is. It's not in Massachusetts. It's not in here. It is up in northern Maine. There is plenty of moisture to give out to everybody in southern New England in the northern parts of the mid-Atlantic, Pennsylvania, there's plenty of moisture. Okay, so basically, when we do get the secondary low pressure system, it won't have to really fight against the dry air. There's moisture that's in the upper levels already. Okay, this moisture is helping these folks out a lot, and will allow this storm to come further to the north. Okay, now, so we're going to look at some of those short range guidance. All right, and we're going to look at the reflectivity. Now, what the heck is now I could show you on these models snow depth and all of this other stuff, okay? But I'm not going to do that, because on these short range models, their main thing that you want to look at is their reflectivity. Not so much the temperatures are right, but not necessarily the snowfall predictions or you know, some of these other things. Okay, you really want to look at reflectivity, and that is basically simulated radar. That is basically what they are created for, is to show you future radar. Okay, now I'm sort of updating these two models here, because newer models are out. So basically, you'll get the most up-to-date information. Now, here is the reflectivity. We're going to show you the RAP model, which is called the Rapid Refresh. Okay, it's called the Rapid Refresh model. All right. Now, here is what's currently going on in Ohio. You can see there's those snow bands that are going on. Okay, those are sort of dying out, and they are supposed to die out. Now, here is those heavy snow bands back out in here. Okay, intensifying. Okay, you see those intensifying down into southern New Jersey. Now, watch how this moves northward. Okay, this is the reason why I'm very concerned for New York City and northeastern PA. Notice this very, very, very heavy band that's moving through Jersey. And watch how this starts. It's just lingering around New Jersey. It's just sticking around. And notice how this gets pushed into southern New England as well. Notice how there's some very heavy banding into southern New England. I mean, we're talking about heavy banding going on through Boston. We're talking about through Hartford, through New York City. Massive banding is going on along the Cape and the islands. I mean, this is some very heavy stuff in here. I mean, these folks are this sort of snow or precip, even if it was rain, it wasn't expected. It was definitely not expected, but I can generally guarantee you it would be in the form of snow. But this was definitely not expected, okay? Which is definitely a major concern. All right, now I want to show you the higher resolution model of this, of the rapid refresh. This is the high resolution rapid refresh. All right, now here we go. All right, here comes that band, and notice how it just moves northward. Okay, there. Look at that major band going through New York City. Notice how that just continues to move northward into Connecticut as well. We have banding now starting to move into Massachusetts. This is a serious concern, all right, because these folks were not supposed to get that much snow. All right, notice how there's some extreme heavy banding going on in New Jersey. Now, as far as this particular model goes, okay, I think, now, again, I could be totally wrong, but I think what's going to actually end up happening is because of how far northeast this low gets, I think we may even see this end up shifting a little bit more northwest. I think I wouldn't be surprised if all of these areas were to get into the banding. But again, we're going to have to sort of really keep an eye out. But again, this is so short range, though, that with it showing this particular solution, I mean, it's probably going to end up happening like this. But again, it's very this is not supposed to happen. That I can definitely guarantee you. I think by the time we reach this evening, we are going to probably be talking about some snow and some very heavy snow in New York City. Now I also want to show you guys something else. Now, I'm going to show you 1 hour precip, but not because I want to show you the precip, but I want to show you, because what it does is it shows you the pressure fields, okay? So here's the pressure, a low pressure system in central Ohio. You see that one right in here. There's another one down in here, all right? And you can see it starts coming closer. You can see that this low pressure in here comes closer to the coast. Okay, that's the low pressure in here. That's very weak low pressure. There's a stronger low pressure in here. All right. Now, notice how this moves northeast. It's not moving east. It's not moving southeast. It's moving northeast. All right. It is moving in this particular direction, which it wasn't supposed to do that. All right. And just look at how it just intensifies. All right, this is almost a 980 millibar, almost a 985 millibar storm. We have one deep pressure in here, one deep pressure in here, and there's also deepening pressure back out in here. This is an intense storm system, all right? Now, we continue to move onward, and it looks like it wants to move east, but no, there's heavier, there's more... There's deepening pressure back out in here. Therefore, it's sort of forcing it back more to the west. Okay? And just look at how it just meanders. It just meanders. This is almost a 982 millibar storm. All right? What this means is that, and I do actually think that this may even be, with the deepening pressure fields more to the south and west here, I think it could even be shifted maybe somewhere in here, okay, which would definitely create more of a problem, especially for people along the I-95 corridor. I think this could be a very significant problem for people who are going anywhere between Boston, Springfield, down through New York, down through Eastern PA. All these areas in here, I think, have a very serious problem on their hands. This is going to definitely be a major, major bust. And especially in New York City. I am very concerned about New York City. This is our low pressure right in here, okay? And it's anticipated to move in this particular direction. Which means this will move in this particular direction as well. All right. What that means is basically, instead of it moving in an easterly direction, this is basically moving in a northeasterly direction. I am very concerned. Because this will definitely impact people for the evening drive. Which, if they're not prepared for these sorts of snows, there could be some serious accidents. Now, thank God that won't be happening in Boston. It may happen in the Hartford area, or it may even happen in the Providence area. But thank God it's not going to be happening in any of these major cities. Thank God it's most of the heaviest of the snow is going to happen later on in the evening. But New York City in New Jersey, please, if any of you from those regions are listening, I really need you to make sure that you heed this warning, and that you really take some extra time, this afternoon, this evening, to really go on the slow side because it's going to be very nasty into these areas, and I do anticipate a lot of accidents. So just make sure you're careful this morning or this afternoon. I mean, we'll have to sort of see how future models go, but this is definitely looking like a serious, serious bomb. And I do anticipate snow from Boston through Springfield down in through eastern eastern PA down through a good all of New Jersey, all of Long Island, in through southeastern Mass. This is where I anticipate the heaviest of the snowfall, and I do anticipate into some of these areas getting close to 10 inches of snow, especially if you can get into some of those very heavy bands. Even these areas, which is going to be on the extreme northern fringe of the storm, I think could even get close to 2 to 4 inches, with areas in here maybe getting a coating of snow. A coating to an inch with 2 to 4 here, and then 4 inches plus once you get into the areas where the banding is going to occur. It's going to be a very intense situation, higher amounts than anticipated, but that's what happens when Mother Nature does what she wants to do. And unfortunately, we have to just sort of go with the flow. So everybody, I will have an update later this afternoon, giving you the newest information, the latest information. That'll be coming. I will actually have several updates today. I'm anticipating to have one around 3 o'clock this afternoon, and also probably around 6 o'clock this afternoon. So I'll see you guys later on today. Have a good rest of your morning, and I'll catch you later this afternoon. Take care, everyone.